Welcome to Friday Sews. I'm Claire. Welcome to my channel, Clarobobbins. And in this week's episode, I'm particularly going to be looking at my holiday wardrobe and in particular the toile for the Downtown Jacket by Pattern Emporium. Yeah, I've also got my Specky Seamstress label subscription from the Label Collective. So I will warn you when I'm going to do that. So if you haven't opened, if you've not received yours yet, or you haven't opened it yet, I'll let you know and you can turn me off. No spoilers here. Come back in a moment and find out what I've been doing. Welcome back. So let's do what I'm wearing first and then I don't forget. So I'm wearing another Pattern Emporium make. It's the first make I made of theirs, and it's the Wanderlust dress. It's a fit and flare, very comfortable, very relaxed dress. I made it in what I would class as a ponte. It's printed, it's black on the back. Don't know if you can see that, let me flashing. It's black on the back, lovely print on the front. I bought it from Pound Fabrics, a rayon blend, which most of us would think of as a ponte, and it's a kind of medium weight. It's not heavy, perfect for an autumn or spring dress. I made it not last year, the year before. It's wearing really well. They do still have this fabric, but not in this print. They have it in a leafy red print, and they have some other prints as well that are rather nice. So if you look at in their jerseys, and it's a viscose or rayon blend jersey. I'm not sure on the weight. It's probably around 300 grams per square inch weight, that kind of weight. It's nice, decent, similar weight to loop back French terry, but it's soft and feels a little bit brushed because of it's been worn quite a bit, and that tends to be how ponte goes when it's been worn a little while. Very comfortable. Loved the pattern. It was my first Pattern Emporium pattern. The instructions for Pattern Emporium patterns are amazing. I had this printed along with the AO pattern, so it's worth having them printed in colour because the detail that she goes to with her instructions and styling and examples of other makes. So for the Downtown Jacket, you know, all the styling information. There's also an excellent video on styling and on the different aspects of the jacket, and that really sold this pattern to me. I'd seen Dining Stitches has made it recently, and one or two other people that I know have made it. Karina from Lifting Pins and Needles has made it, and they all make very different versions and they all look lovely. And when you see the video from the website from Pattern Emporium and see all of the different versions and varieties, there's 3 different lengths. You can do it in different fabrics to give a very different feel, and then there's as well as the regular fit, which is the version I have, there's an oversized fit, which, you know, is a bit more boxy. It's kind of sized up in the way that you'd size up a shirt if you were making a shacket. That's the sort of way it's sized up, but the cuffs remain the same size. It has quite a big, generous cuff, and this is my toile version. It's almost finished. I was hoping I might get it finished for you, and I just can't quite manage it because I've got other things on this weekend. It's the Cheshire Honey Show, Cheshire Beekeepers Association Honey Show, and I've got lots of entries. So I've been busy baking for that, but also sorting out honey entries, and I've got lots of candle making to do as well, which I haven't started yet. So I just couldn't afford to spend another minute on this today. I thought, well, I'll just show you where I'm up to. So I've got the the front and back on, the collar is on. Collar goes on brilliantly. It's a yoked jacket. Now I did forget, I forgot to put, I normally put my labels in the yoke. I forgot. I was just on a roll and concentrating. The collar's gone on beautifully. I love the instructions. It's top stitched. I've done the version with side splits, and I've done the full bust adjustments are done for you, which is another big bonus. And I've done the there's a standard, and then there's a 2 extra inch FBA, and then a 3 extra inch FBA. And I've done the 3, and I do wonder whether I might get away with just doing the two in. I might get away with just doing the 2 in the when I do the linen version, because it does feel quite roomy, and that's fine. I deliberately I'm right between sizes. I'm right between the size 16 and the size 18 on my measurements, and normally I'm between a 14 and a 16 for cashmerette with their GH cup, and with Pattern Emporium I seem to be a size up, but that's okay. It doesn't matter, it's only a number, isn't it? But that's just the way the size works for my measurements, and I'm right in between. I'm 39.5 inch high bust at the moment, and my high bust measurement stays fairly consistent because I'm quite lean there, and the size 16 goes to 39.25, and then the size 18 goes from 39.75. So I'm just miss. So I might be, I don't know, I'm a bit reluctant to size down for my nice fabric, but I don't know, we'll see. I've done the pleated back version. There's also a top stitched back version because I wanted the fullness in the jacket, because I was enjoying that on the Ilford jacket, and I really wanted to create that kind of loose, breezy style in the linen. So this is the cuff. You see the cuffs are quite large. This is just clipped in, so I'm not going to put my arm all the way in, but the cuffs are lovely and big. And I'm going on this particular version, I'm going to do poppers like I did for my Ilford jacket, probably gunmetal popper, probably, because I think that'll go quite nicely with this lovely forest green. The full bust versions are darted, and I've moved the dart down 3/4 of an inch, and I've backed it off by about an inch, maybe a little bit less, maybe 3/4 of an inch backed it off. So maybe because I'm just up that size, they just seem to be coming a little bit too far forward for me towards the apex. I could consider just going down on the full bust adjustment, because it's not terribly fitted. So I don't know. I might just do it as it is. We'll see. I'll have a think about it. I haven't really got time to make a second toile. So that's all I've got to do now. Is this sleeve needs sewing in, and then I'm going to do I'm going to do the poppers, so that'll be quite quick. And this sleeve, I have to put the cuff onto the actual sleeve and then put the sleeve in. Yeah, so everything, the pattern instructions are excellent. They're very hand-holdy. They remind you of everything. She does lots of things in ways that I like. I can't think of anything much that I thought, oh, I wouldn't do it like that. Most of the things were done in a way that I thought, oh yes, I like the way she's done that. I'm not used to sewing guidelines. There are guideline stitching on lots of the pieces, and I found that really helpful. So I might adopt that to my regular sewing. But yes, very, very pleased with the instructions, pleased with the way it's come together. Very clear. It's fitting exactly as I thought it would, given the instructions and the finished garment measurements. So I have got the fit that I thought I would get for this size. I was undecided when I made it, when I chose the size, and I'm still a bit undecided, but I do like it. And maybe I just need it to be, you know, big and loose. And the trouble with linen is it stretches, doesn't it? That's the only thing I am just thinking about. So let me know what you think. Let me know. What I will do is I'll slip this on. It's going dark outside, but I'll slip it on in here and just take a couple of photographs of me wearing it as it is, over my dress, but without with only the one sleeve in, and see what you think. Yeah, so my linen, my lovely linen, is here. And I went to Cheshire Needlecraft, to Bernadette at Cheshire Needlecraft, and I'll pop the link below for Bernadette. And she is mainly quilting cottons, but she has a magnificent button selection. And I've chosen these beautiful shell buttons. I do try and avoid buttons that are made from plastic if I can. And I thought this is my linen for the linen version of the jacket. And I've chosen that button, which I think goes beautifully with the off-white linen. And then I managed to get some matching ones for the cuffs. I think I'm going to do 3 buttons on the cuff. So I bought quite a small button for the cuff, and they go really nicely together. They're the same colour. I don't know if you can see that. I will take some photographs of that, so that you can see it really clearly. But then I couldn't find a button for the trouser or shorts, whichever I decide to do in the end. Had to revert to a plastic button, but it is a really good match. So that was all I could get. She didn't have an in-between size, but yeah. So very, very pleased with my buttons. Bought some spares. Yeah, I love her buttons. So this is what I'm going to be hopefully making the jacket out of. So those are my makes for this week. Was there anything about it I didn't like? The fabric is from Sherwood's Fabric. It's quite a robust cotton twill, and it was in their denim section. And I don't know if they call it a denim or a cotton twill, but it's a more substantial, slightly heavier than you normally find a cotton twill in. It's a nice weight. It's definitely a jacket and trousers weight cotton twill, whereas the cotton twill that I used for my Largo cargos, the navy one, which was a Paul Smith cotton twill, that is quite a bit lighter and softer, and you could happily make a shirt out of that. It's lovely fabric, and it's just about okay for pants. It's fine, be a nice summer trouser. But this is significantly heavier. It's quite robust. It has been washed, but it's still got quite a substantial feel to it. But I'm sure it will soften with washing in time. So what else have I been doing? I'm going to do the labels now. So if you don't want to see the labels, turn away now. Do these next, and then I can tell you a little bit about my week and the honey show. So this is The Label Collective by the Specky Seamstress, and again I'll pop some photographs in of this. And this arrived, when did it arrive? I think it arrived maybe last Saturday. I've had it a few days. I was very pleased to see it. Thought, oh, I'll show everybody that. Oh, she just, yeah, always does it so well. So we've got a sweater weather and a teapot. Time for hot drinks and a sweater, and you're quite right. Absolutely perfect for this weather. It's definitely a tad autumnal out there. So that's my label collective. So what else have I been doing? Well, I've been, as I say, busy in the sewing room, and another toile, and another new to me pattern. It was quite refreshing working on this pattern compared to my Hollyoak dress. Now, I loved making the Hollyoak dress, but it took me ages to work out what size to make and how to make it, because of it being a princess seam pattern, and I didn't just have my sloper to refer to, and yeah, just so it was a bit of a labour of love. I made the 2 muslins, and then the actual dress went together quite easily, but there are lots of pieces in it. When you look at the all the facings, all the facing pieces and the waistband pieces, there's quite a lot to it, and this has just been so refreshingly simple and straightforward, and it has simple lines, and I quite like that about it. So yeah, a refreshingly straightforward make, even though I've still got the quandary. It does fit me nicely. I am pleased with the fit, but I have this quandary. Oh, don't want it slightly smaller in the linen, but I can't afford to make it too small, can I? And I don't want to do it without the. I love the pleat at the back. I love the kind of flowiness out of it. I love the fact that it can, you know, sticks out at the back, and you get this boxy shape. I love that. That's why I've chosen it. So it's very not at all me. I was definitely out of my comfort zone when I made the Ilford jacket, which was very similar to make to this, and you know, refreshingly simple to make. Not so many pattern pieces, comes together quickly, straightforward to sew, lots of straight lines, so nice and easy to make. Burritoed yoke, so no hand finishing. The only thing I would say is I'm just, because I've made it in quite a different fabric, it's difficult, isn't it, with a toile? You should really make your toiles in very similar fabric, and I haven't. Such is life. Am I worried? Not really. Okay, there we go. There it is. So, life this week is the Honey Show and Autumn Convention, Cheshire Beekeepers on Sunday, this coming Sunday, and I've entered loads of stuff. I've entered straight honeycomb straight from the hive, which goes into a glazed box. I've entered cut comb, which has to be carefully cut and glued in with beeswax into a jar and then filled. I've entered 2 different types of runny honey. I've entered some crystallized honey. I've entered lots of the confectionery. I've entered furniture polish, and then Nigel said, oh yeah, I've got some turpentine in the garage, but of course he hasn't. It's white spirit. So I've had to search for some turpentine, yeah, just lots and lots of different things. It's good fun. It is good fun. It's quite time consuming. Candles, I've entered candles, beeswax samples. They have to be weighed. So lots to do. And the baking with honey is really tricky because it burns really, really easily. So yesterday I baked the cake for one of the confectionery things, and I baked it in my baking oven in my Aga, and it was too hot. So I need to start it in the Aga and then finish it in start it in the baking oven and finish it in the simmering oven like you would with a Christmas cake. So I need to repeat that. It's very edible, but it's just very dark, and I could still put it in as it was, except I've taken a piece out of it to try it, and it's fine. But I will make it again, and I'll start it in the baking oven and put it in the simmering oven. I made the gingerbread, honey gingerbread, and I started that in the baking oven and finished it in the simmering oven. It takes a lot longer. It's like an hour extra, but it's really worth doing. So that's baked beautifully. So I'm very pleased with that. I baked some fudge, honey fudge. I overcooked it. I've got honey flavoured caramel, honey flavoured. Yeah, it's now, instead of being fudge now, it's definitely caramelised and gone into a soft toffee, which will be useful. I'll put it in the freezer, and I'll use it for banoffee and that sort of thing. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. I could just eat it all, but I won't. Not going to do that. So I've got some fudge to make, I've got some flapjacks to make, and I've got a cake to make. So I've got my Arga on. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to pop downstairs and do that. And I've got candles to make and a bit more wax to refine. Yeah, busy person. So I'll take some photographs, and they won't go in this video, but I'll take some photographs and maybe put them in next week's Friday Sews if you're interested. They'll be at the end. If it's not your thing, you can just leave the video and pass on by. It's been lovely chatting to you today. I hope your sewing is going really well. I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I'll perhaps see you next week. Bye bye.